saying part of it is I'm not really sure if this is fantasy, what I've done in here, or if it's more of a version of the alternate world.
Yeah, that's
area.
an alternate reality.
Oh, that was another thing at one of the contests I entered. I come back and I was basically given a lecture, and the judge's comments is alternate world results because a significant event occurred in the past that changed the things so that things don't happen the way they really did. And I'm thinking back to a book by somebody you knew very well about something about
The Man in the High Castle.
Yeah, where supposedly Roosevelt had been assassinated.
Yeah, and World War II ended quite differently.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing in this book is it's a separate world. This world exists exactly as it's happened. A small band of people have sailed to another world and they find something very similar, but it's not exactly the same.
Which used to be a fairly common science fiction premise.
Right.
And you look at the hundreds of things that H.G. Wells published. I mean, a good third of them have that premise where you pick up, you start in the normal world and you end up in a different one. And there are a lot of movies that are like that, too.
And I guess my main reason for actually going the fantasy route, this started out strictly as naval adventures.
Oh, really?
Story. I wrote the original story years ago.
Mm-hmm.
There's no fantasy involved in it. They find this little island someplace out in the middle of the South Pacific or the Indian Ocean. Well, as I got ideas for the story, I had to keep making the island bigger.
That's hilarious.
To be able to be what I wanted it to be.
Interesting.
And I finally got realizing, well, pretty soon that island's half as big as Australia. Well, where am I going to put an island to where people are going to say, well, how come I couldn't see that? If you got a 1 square mile island out in the middle of the ocean someplace and nobody knows it's there, you can, especially in the days before satellite.
Yeah, Amelia Earhart goes down and you never find it.
You can have a small island. You can put 500 people on there. But when I wanted something where I'd have a naval fleet of, bigger than the U.S. Navy at that time or something like that, where am I going to get the people to man the fleet? Where are they going to get the provisions? Where are they going to get the equipment to build it? So I finally decided that they would be in an alternate world. Yes, and that's how the fantasy aspect of it came out.
That's so interesting. I love it when this happens, and I talk to writers all the time where this happens. I think it's a very good sign, where you start out thinking, my story is about X, and then the characters beat you over the head and say, no, we're going in this direction, or, oh no, it's a completely different type of book than you thought it was. And you can fight it only so long, right?
And I think that also works with the length of the book and the fact that there's at least 2 in the story now, and I'm, quote, working on the 3rd.
With all of your spare time when you're not promoting the book
Yeah.
or working.